Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I will show you first things to do after setup on OPPO A5m. Let's begin! And we can start with probably the most crucial and most important thing you can do: connect to a Wi-Fi. Now by default you actually do this while you're performing a setup, but maybe you have skipped that, so let's do it. You want to make sure that your Wi-Fi is enabled. As you can see now it's disabled, so we want to enable it once again. We want to press and hold it, and now we are searching for networks that are nearby. We want to choose our network, so for me it's this one. And now we want to input our password. If you don't know where your password can be found, it's usually below or next to the router, usually in some sort of sticker form. So I will now input my password, and now I will simply hit OK, and I will connect to the network. Now why it's important? Well, every single step, almost every single step that we'll take further will be very important. Let me quickly double check the password again. Alright, there has been one misinput, but now everything should be working fine. Okay, so as I was saying, the Wi-Fi connection is incredibly important for steps like, for example, checking for software updates. Now technically, while you're performing a setup, you should be installing every single software update, but it won't hurt to simply check in the settings, and we want to scroll all the way down, system and updates, then not backup and reset, but software and update, and you want to simply check for newest updates. So as you can see, we are checking and version is up to date, so that's good. Now the other very important thing is adding a Google account. Now I know there's been some discussion lately about like de-googling your phone and is it bad or not, but truth be told, you can't barely use your phone or basically the internet without having a Google account. So let's quickly add it. We could go here through the Google tab, but as a nice skip we can actually click our Play Store, and in the Play Store we'll add and sign in into our Google account. So let's hit that sign in button at the bottom right corner, which as we can see, well, let's cancel the update first, and now let's click the button. Let's try to click the button once more time, or 10 times. Okay, Google Play is that great phone. Okay, so we can go through the settings, and let's try to add a Google account here. So let's click Google, and would you look at that, it's not working. Alright, let's go to users and accounts. Let's go with add account. And now here we can go with Google, which surprisingly is also not working. That's interesting. Well, if you will ever encounter this issue, I would simply advise you to turn off your device. You can do that by pressing and holding your power button, but of course not alone. How are you showing me Digital Assistant from Google when I'm not logged into Google? Come on, man. Let's press power button and volume up instead. Let's reboot it, and I will come back to you shortly after the phone reboots. Okay, I have unpaused the recording, the phone rebooted, so let's try it again. Let's go into settings. Now let's scroll all the way down, head into Google, and it's working. Amazing. So let's hit that juicy sign button to actually do what we wanted to do. Great. Now our phone is checking info, and in a moment we will be able to input our Google account. Of course, if you don't have an account, I would strongly advise you to create one. It's a really easy process, and they basically guide you through it pretty easily. So I will now input my email. Alright, let's hit next. And as a little fun fact, you don't have to write every single time gmail.com, as it will automatically input it for you. So now we want to input our password as well. Okay, let's hit next. And it appears that I have successfully managed to get the password in my first try. Now we can choose if you want to configure it for the child or for ours. Just a quick note that if you click this and then we'll go through next, you will go through the process of configuring family link and parental control and all of that nasty stuff. So I will of course not do that, since commonly you want to use your phone and you don't want to set it up for a child. Let's hit agree to terms of service and other cool stuff. And now we'll have to agree to Google services. So we want to wait for a moment until they appear. Of course, the only thing that you can choose here is backup device data. Now, backup is incredibly important, and if you are a typical user, you should enable the backup. The only reason I am not doing it right now while recording is because we have a very limited amount of data on our Google accounts, and because we use only 1 or 2 Google accounts for all devices and all our tutorials, it's pretty obvious that we want to, well, not waste that memory. But once again, if you are normal users, I would strongly advise you to enable backup and device data and then hit accept. Otherwise, you might lose your data whenever something happens to your phone, and of course, nobody wants that, right? So, let's pretend that I have enabled it, and let's hit accept. And now we are successfully logged in. Great. Now we can go and enter our Play Store, the thing I wanted to do from the very beginning. Let's go and get started. We have few bloatware applications. They are not as bad as the one that we have already installed here, as you can clearly see, but nonetheless I will disable them. Maybe I can actually keep the Google Keep, since I personally use it and I think it's a pretty cool thing. The WhatsApp Messenger is also pretty useful. ChatGPT is less, but it's beginning to gain in popularity more and more, so But anyway, you could go with install, you could go with skip. It's completely up to you. Now we have to choose how we want to verify our purchases. I will go with password since I don't have biometrics set up. And now I will input my password. Okay, let's hit done. And I also got it on my first try. Amazing. We could enable local recommendations. Our Google is still in location anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Now, why we did that is incredibly important. Well, first of all, you need Play Store to install new applications, which is surely useful and surely you will use it anyway. But most importantly, we can now go into our settings here. And now we can go to my apps and games. Then we can go for updates. And here we have a list of all updates that are currently pending, so there are a lot of them, as you can see. But before we click this beautiful button called Update All, we can clearly see that we have some useful and actually not useful, useless garbage. It's called bloatware and it's usually installed whenever you hard reset your phone. So what we want to do now is we want to simply disable it. And by disabling, of course, I mean get rid of it, burn it to the ground, etc, etc. So we can start with this folder right here. I will never use any of these applications, so we can press and hold them. We want to hit uninstall, and let's hit uninstall. The same thing will happen to every single application that we have on this device right now. And I would strongly advise you to do the same, since they are not only wasting your memory, they are also wasting your space, and they are wasting the ability to easily hit update all applications. So I will now go with a little bit speed up, and I will unpause the recording when I'm done removing this annoying bloatware. So yeah. I think I'm done. Of course, there are. It really depends on your preference. For example, I left the Netflix here, since I personally do have Netflix, so you know, if you want to, you could leave them. If you don't have it, you can also disable it, remove it. But I do think that we are clear now. As you can see, this is much better site than we had before. So yeah, now we can go and also set up our Google Pay. I'm not going to go through the process since it does require me to do a photo of my credit card. I'm not going to do that, obviously, but we can go and press our Google Wallet here. Now, as you can see, you have to go with the wallet. We can allow notifications, they are fine, and all you want to do is simply add a payment card. Oh, at least I guess do have some sort of cards, but usually you want to go with this. Wait a moment, and then you want to enter credit card info credentials, or simply perform a nice photo of your card, just like we have here. We can see here. Of course, I'm not going to do that since, once again, I don't want to dox myself, from obvious reasons. But yeah, this is how you can enable a nice Google payment, which is incredibly convenient, and I would strongly advise you to do it. And also, it's completely safe, so you shouldn't really worry about it. And lastly, since the video is getting pretty long, we can simply expand our control center and click that finish setting up your device. So let's check it out and let's see what's inside. We can click start, and as you can see, there are a few steps. First, we can connect to a mobile network. Now, I'm not going to do that. I can only say that all you want to do is simply you want to input your SIM card into this phone. If you don't know how to do it, don't worry, we do have tutorials exactly on this topic. But for now, I will skip this. We can also set up using another device. It's also incredibly important to note that you won't be able to use this function later. You will have to install some sort of other application to do it for you. So if you have some sort of older device that you want to transfer data to this device, then I would strongly advise you to click either of these options to perform this. Of course, I do not have those, so let's hit skip. And now we are getting our phone ready. Now we are checking information, and we should be done any moment now. As you can see, we have once again the ability to copy apps and data. This time it's not, I don't think it's Google based, I think it's Apple based. Once again, I do not have a device I can copy data from, so I will go with don't copy. And we can also set up unlock method. It's pretty important thing since you want to have your phone protected from, I don't know, thieves, for example. So I will go for the password, and I will choose pattern since pattern is pretty cool. And here we have very important notice, and it's basically saying that it's unwise to forget your screen lock. I mean, it's kinda pretty self-explanatory. Even my friend here who also works with me sent me a little note, and what I need to say, and basically one of note was, explain why screen lock shouldn't be forgotten. I don't think I have to really explain it to you, because whenever you forget your screen lock, you cannot really retrieve it, and then the only way you can access your phone then is by performing a hard reset. So you will remove every single thing from your phone just to get access to it. So please, for the love of God, do not forget your screen lock. Now, anyway, the passwords, I will go with a simple L shape. Simple L shape once again as a confirmation. And let's hit next. We can also choose our browser and search engine. So we will go with next. We can go for, well, let's say Firefox. Let's go with set as default. And I will go with Google as a search engine, so set as default too. Now we are checking. We have to meet Gemini, unfortunately, but I will say no thanks to Hey Google, since it can be pretty annoying. Unless you are a user of this, so you know. Now we also have a shortcut to GPay, though I have already showed you how to do it, so and how to set it up, so I will just skip that too. And now we have anything else. Adding another email account is incredibly easy, and you can just follow the beginning of this video when I added Google account. Changing wallpaper is, I mean, pretty easy. Like, this is pretty dumb, so I will just show you how to do it here. You want to press and hold your finger onto your home screen, then go for wallpapers. And in the wallpapers, you can choose incredible amounts of stuff. These are all built-in, or you can also choose something from your gallery. So I will go with this green and blue one, since I really like the colors. I can apply it to both. Let's hit apply. And let's hit OK. We are now transformed into themes. I can go with custom, I can go with green, since I really like green colors. And now we should have a nice green stuff. So yeah, before we actually finish the video, after you have removed all your bloatware, now you want to go to your Play Store, to your icon in the top right corner, manage apps and device, updates, and now, after you have removed every single useless thing on your phone, you can update all. So yeah, that's all for this video. If you found it useful, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.